Man, ain't shit about John Gangster, cuz. My nigga ain't snitched on no nigga, never been break the fold. Why you think my nigga ain't got no break? Why you think he ain't bounced back out like the rest of these rappers?
Once again, Pooh Shiesty is back in the headlines. And nah, the heat hasn't cooled at all. This time the talk isn't about him slipping up himself, it's about claims he's pointing fingers at other people, and that's where things get real messy fast. According to Wack 100, the story runs way deeper than most folks realize, and there's chatter that loud mouths and old beefs might be colliding at the worst moment possible.
Oh no, they just say he got a gun case. I think somebody told on him, actually.
Damn,
Is somebody name in Pooh Shiesty paperwork?
No,
Yeah, his
it's
name's
a
in
few
Pooh
names.
Shiesty paperwork.
Pooh
Pooh Shiesty talked about two niggas in his paperwork because he got two co-defendants. And in his proffer, he mentioned both of them.
Oh man, why y'all making Memphis look bad like
Bro,
that?
he just sat down for the proffer, my nigga.
Memphis, bro.
It ain't our fault.
Wait, hold on. Wait, slow down, bro. See, niggas, bro, that ain't got nothing to do with Memphis, bro. Some real niggas from Memphis. What you saying? When one person do something, that's on Memphis? Come on, bro. Cut that out, bro.
He carrying the weight right now,
No, the fuck
especially in
he ain't.
doggone.
He
Nah,
is,
he's
bro.
not.
The fuck
No,
not,
he's not.
bro.
Man,
No,
one man
he's
don't
not,
speak for himself.
The wild part is, Wack wasn't even the original source of the claim, but his name getting attached turned the volume all the way up. So how did it even get here? And what did she really say once those accusations started flying? At the time, Shiesty was staring down multiple potential life sentences tied to two serious cases. No jokes. One of those situations went down in Bay Harbor Islands, a quiet spot in Miami-Dade County with barely 6,000 people living there, which made the whole thing even crazier. Reports say he was in town handling luxury business, designer sneakers, flashy cars, big money moves. Things allegedly spiraled when a group stepped out and surrounded another party, weapons drawn, chaos popping off everywhere. Shots rang out, 2 people were hit, and in all the confusion, a bag stuffed with serious cash hit the ground. This was peak fame era for him. Bond set at $30,000, bailed out quick and back on the streets. But that freedom didn't last long at all. The first situation popped off back in October 2020, and not even 6 months later, Pooh Shiesty was right back in trouble again. Fresh out and moving loose, he was posted up at a Miami nightclub with his circle, just months after touching freedom. And at first, nobody outside that crowd really knew what went down. That changed fast when footage from the night leaked all over social media. The clip opens with a narrator saying someone had hit a lick on Shiesty for around $40,000, right in the middle of his performance. Seconds later, shots start ringing. Panic hits, and the whole place turns into a stampede as people scramble to get out. Investigators later said a security guard was struck in the leg during the chaos. After everything settled, Shiesty turned himself in, and once the video spread online, there was no dodging it anymore. The charge came down as aggravated battery, and that's when people started throwing around the phrase snitching heavy. That label stuck because in his other case, that's allegedly exactly how the feds lined him up. Shiesty had been flexing hard on Instagram, posting money and lifestyle clips, and authorities reportedly matched serial numbers from the cash in his videos to the money bag left behind. That meant even if they couldn't pin everything directly on Shiesty, prosecutors could still argue he was there and at least helped coordinate what went down. That alone was enough to keep the pressure heavy. Meanwhile, the Free Shiesty chants went crazy, with artists like Lil Durk and Gucci Mane, whose label Shiesty was tied to, showing public support and keeping his name buzzing. Fans flooded Twitter, riding hard for him. But at the same time, others weren't letting him slide at all. One fan joked, "Big 30 and Pooh Shiesty stay talking about super specific crimes in their songs, bro," clowning him for being way too detailed online. Another comment pointed at recent headlines, saying all this drama felt like a distraction from bigger stories while people kept yelling, "Free Pooh Shiesty!" But then the tone shifted again when talk started spreading that Shiesty might have been snitching on more than just himself. Since he was charged alongside 2 other people, eyes stayed locked on the case. At first, Shiesty and his crew all pushed the not guilty angle together. That plan didn't last. Recently, both co-defendants switched their pleas to guilty, and Shiesty followed the same move. That decision pulled him away from a possible life sentence, but don't get it twisted, he's still staring down some very serious time behind the wall. If everything goes how the court wants it, Shiesty is likely staying locked up with no bail this time, because they already saw how that played out before. Once he touched freedom, things spiraled again, and the courts clearly didn't forget that. Under the plea deal terms, he technically can't be held longer than 8 years on the prosecutor's side, but don't get it twisted. Judges don't have to rubber stamp anything prosecutors suggest. The judge could have easily looked at the whole picture and slammed him with 15 or even 20 years if he felt like it. So nothing was ever guaranteed, and now it's a waiting game to see how the gavel actually falls. But that's not even the part that really got people talking. Fans started questioning how Shiesty and the 2 co-defendants all suddenly changed their filings and somehow watched the potential sentence drop hard. That kind of shift doesn't happen quietly, and theories started flying everywhere. That's where Clubhouse enters the chat. For anyone who doesn't know, it's an app where people hop into live audio rooms and talk about whatever they want. No filters, no pauses. And one of the loudest voices on there has been Wack 100. Wack built a whole reputation off running wild on Clubhouse, throwing out bold claims and stirring the pot heavy. The latest drama centers on Pooh Shiesty again. And this time, it blew up inside a live Clubhouse room. People were already debating the case when one speaker, not Wack 100 himself, brought up a proffer. And that single word sent the whole conversation sideways fast. A proffer is basically paperwork tied to a case, laying out facts or statements that can be used later in court under certain conditions. That doesn't automatically mean someone snitched, but the room didn't care about that detail. Wack jumped in and started going hard, claiming this was proof Shiesty told on people because they saw the document and read it. The problem is simple though, that alone proves nothing. A proffer can just be part of a plea deal, not some secret confession list. Loud talk, zero confirmation, and the internet ran with it anyway. Shiesty's lawyer didn't waste time shutting it down either. He called it 100% fake news, directly aiming at Wack. According to him, there is no paperwork showing Shiesty spoke on anyone at all. He made it clear that none of the 3 defendants gave proffers about other people. Let's get one thing straight, because the facts ain't matching the noise at all. All 3 defendants took pleas to the same exact charge. 1 count of possession of a weapon during a crime, period. No secret deals, no hidden statements, no backroom talking. None of them gave a proffer on anybody, and all the other serious life-level charges got dismissed as part of that straight plea deal. But facts don't travel as fast as rumors, especially when clicks are the goal. Instead of breaking down what actually happened, people just tossed wild claims into the air and let them fly. That's where the whole thing went left. And it didn't stop there, because Pooh Shiesty himself stepped in and addressed the snitch talk head-on. He put it out clear, saying he would never be on paper sitting with the government, giving statements on anyone in exchange for something. He made it known if that was the case, he wouldn't even be standing where he is now. Shiesty also broke down the confusion, explaining that a factual proffer isn't some rat paperwork. It's just the factual basis the government uses to prove the charge in court when someone enters a plea. So now, the whole situation sits right here. Loud rumors on one side and hard paperwork on the other. On paper, there's no proof Pooh Shiesty sat down and told on anyone. No names, no statements, no secret deals. But online, once the word snitch gets attached, people don't care about technicalities at all. That's why voices like Wack 100 carry so much weight, even when the claims don't line up with court reality. One loud take on social audio turns into headlines, clips, and comment wars overnight. And once that narrative spreads, correcting it becomes almost impossible. Things got even louder when emotions spilled over, because people were being told to keep that same energy when the pressure flips. Standing firm became the whole message. No backing down, no soft steps. And then it went a level higher when Pooh Shiesty's mother jumped into the mix herself. She tagged Wack 100 directly in a post and fired off a sharp line saying, "Wack 100, your mom raised a mess, Gladys raised a savage." That caught everybody off guard. Usually when moms speak up, it's pain, confusion, or straight heartbreak. This time, nah, she came in heated and swinging with words. That's what made it stand out so heavy. Instead of pleading innocence or sounding broken, she sounded ready for smoke. But here's where it gets tricky. There's a small gap between what Shiesty and his lawyer are saying and how it's being interpreted. For once, Wack actually tried to slow things down. He replied to his mom and the lawyer, pointing out that he had previously said this could have just been standard plea deal language. Wack fired back, saying he understood the emotions, but called out what he saw as a bad response aimed at the wrong target. He basically told Shiesty's side to stop reacting to rumors instead of facts, reminding the attorney that due diligence matters in cases like this. According to him, if the research was shaky, that could explain how things spiraled in the first place. He also made it clear there was no hate behind it. Wack said he still has love for Pooh Shiesty, but added that politics are politics and real is real. And honestly, for once, this might just be a misunderstanding blown way out of proportion. Even people who don't rock with Wack admitted he might not be fully wrong this time. But here's the lesson nobody can ignore. When you build a reputation off stirring drama and poking bears in the rap game, people are gonna assume the worst, even when the facts finally line up in your favor. That history comes back fast. A lot of folks were ready to pile on Wack 100, and whether he likes it or not, that reputation may have caught up with him again. We've seen this movie before, and it usually ends the same way. Now it's on you. Did Shiesty actually snitch, or did he just make a smart move to cut his time and protect himself? Is Wack finally right for once, or is this karma for gossiping too much? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like, subscribe, share this video, and I'll see you on the next one.